Barrett, a young ambassador for Film Club. I'm here at the red carpet premiere for The Woman in Black, starring Daniel Radcliffe. Let's see who we can go and speak to. I feel your two parts, both Harry and Arthur, are similar. You're both working in the spiritual work. Did you find any similarity?
Not particularly, only because Harry's a very, Harry attacks everything, and Harry's a very energized character with a lot of purpose, and really Arthur has none of that. He's somebody who has been so devastated by a loss that he's sort of entered a state of emotional paralysis and can't really move on. So I think the film generally and the character is a lot darker than people are used to seeing, perhaps, and I do look just quite upset for most of the film.
What were the biggest challenges you faced producing the film?
Oh, the biggest challenges producing the film. It was certainly the first and really significant one was how to adapt this novel of Susan Hill's, which we'd been trying to adapt for quite some time. It was only when Jane Goldman became involved that she found the way through the material. The book's set over several different periods of time, and it is a broken up story, and Jane found a way of telling a story that works for film.
The book is studied in schools and it's quite a well-known stage play. Did this affect the way you wrote the screen?
No, I think you just always want to be true to the spirit of the original source material, which in this case was Susan Hill's brilliant book, and you just want to make sure that something has that it's written in the language of cinema, and that's in the way that the stage adaptation was a brilliant adaptation for stage.
What were the biggest challenges you faced while directing the film?
Well, when you're directing a film, I guess you're always your ambitions are always bigger than your budget and your schedule, so you're always having to work really hard to try and to make your day. You're always rushing, I suppose, in some way, and you're trying to rush but not have things look rushed. The biggest challenge in filming was probably we shot for 3 days in this pit of mud, where Dan, it was a bigger challenge for him than for me, because he was in freezing cold mud under his head, underwater for 3 days. It was cold, it was wet, it was nasty, and he just had to keep going back and back into it, but he was fantastic.
For much of the movie, you're acting on your own. How difficult was it?
It was actually kind of, it wasn't as much of an issue. I didn't really think about it an awful lot at the time. I mean, those are the moments where you just, your relationship is with the director, and that's the person you go to, and that's the person you just feed off all the time, as well as the other actors, if they had been there. But yeah, I mean, it was mainly about that. Those were the moments that I built my relationship with the director, I suppose.
So how did you choose that location?
Well, the location, the setting was in the script, and the location we actually created on a set in Pinewood.
I found it a really spooky tale. Did you ever get scared while you were filming it?
I was just saying, no, we actually didn't. There were nothing particularly frightening or exciting happened. We had just a very nice, relaxed time on the film.
It didn't, no, and luckily I haven't got much scariness or scary reactions to do in this, but reading the script petrified me. It's proper, really, really frightening script, and I read it late at night before I went to bed, so yeah, it wasn't good, that, to be honest with you.
Not a good time to read a horror.
Probably not so much when you're directing it, because you have a real, you're quite involved in the process. But what's very gratifying is to sit with an audience of people and see them chilled. In the same way, I guess, as if you're a comedian or have made a comedy, to see people laugh.
I found the film really quite scary. What films do you find scary yourself, if you found any past films?
Open Water. Have you seen Open Water?
No.
A couple that drowned off the coast of Australia and got eaten by sharks.
No, I haven't seen it.
I'm not very good with horror films anyway, so yeah.
Yet you still star in one?
That's the only way I could deal with it. If I'm in it, I can't be scared of myself.
Jaws, that's probably, might be a bit before your time. The Exorcist, Alien, I mean, there's loads of fantastic horror films.
The film that frightens me the most is Don't Look Now, from back around about the beginning of the 70s with Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie. That terrifies me.
Could you describe The Woman in Black in 3 words as a film?
Ooh. At you with all the hard questions.
Very, very scary.
A tragic period horror.
Good one, that's good, that's fine. Well, tonight was amazing. Interviewing everyone on the red carpet was so interesting. I've been to see The Woman in Black myself, and it's such a spine-tingling film. It's out on the 10th of February, so go and see it if you dare.